Relations within the ruling family in North Korea have always been complex and filled with tensions and internal conflicts. There have been many secret projects and conspiracies plotted behind the scenes, and these conflicts were manifested in various forms. The ruling family would avoid any kind of external scandals as much as possible, which made them act in complete secrecy. In this story, the current president of North Korea plays a pivotal role. Despite his power and absolute authority over the state, he always felt threatened by his ambitious brother. The brother was a smart and ambitious young man, and he was considered a potential threat to the president's rule. The political situation in North Korea is characterized by a lot of ambiguity and secrecy. No one can be easily trusted, as enemies exist everywhere. This general climate of suspicion and fear ultimately led to the president's fateful decision regarding his brother. There were several reasons that drove the president to make the decision to assassinate his brother. First, the brother was gaining popularity among some leadership circles, making him a direct threat to the president's authority. Secondly, there were suspicions that the brother was communicating with external entities, and these accusations were enough to plant seeds of betrayal in the president's psyche. Due to the complete secrecy surrounding the operation, the president had to devise a meticulous plan free of any flaws. The most loyal and specialized individuals in assassination operations were enlisted. This operation was extremely complex and required high-level coordination. The assassination took place at one of the international airports when the brother was on his way to travel to a foreign country. The timing was carefully chosen to coincide with the world's preoccupation with conferences and international events, reducing the chances of media focus on the incident. A very rare and fast-acting poison was used, leaving no clear traces on the victim's body. The operation was carried out by two individuals skillfully disguised who managed to approach the victim without drawing attention. A meticulous plan was prepared to select the two girls who would carry out the assassination. The planners chose two individuals whose flexibility in terms of identity and nationality was unknown to the public, making it difficult to trace and uncover the background of the crime. Before execution, the two girls underwent precise and intensive training that included everything from how to approach the target without arousing suspicion to how to handle the toxic substance carefully. They were trained in camouflage and stealth skills and how to escape public places quickly and quietly after completing the mission. On the appointed day, the two girls arrived at the airport where the brother was preparing to travel. The small details, such as the girls' clothing and their behavior, were meticulously calculated to avoid drawing attention. The girls disguised themselves as ordinary travelers, making it easier for them to move inside the airport without attracting notice. When the time came, the girls executed the operation with precise coordination. They took advantage of a waiting moment in one of the airport lounges and approached the brother as if they knew him. In one swift move, one of them sprayed the poisonous substance on his face while the other assisted in executing the second part of the operation, which was distraction and quick escape. After carrying out the mission, the girls turned away from everyone's attention and took advantage of the temporary chaos to quickly flee the crime scene. The escape plan was highly efficient, as they immediately boarded a car waiting for them outside the airport and sped off to a safe place away from any surveillance. Investigations began immediately after the incident. There were many attempts to track the two girls, but the clues they left behind were almost non-existent, complicating matters for the investigation teams. The poison used was extremely rare and acted very quickly, making it difficult to analyze it in time. Immediately after the crime, international and local media began to publish detailed reports on the circumstances of the incident. There were many rumors and speculations about the party responsible for the crime and the real motives behind it. Despite North Korean government's attempts to control the media narrative, the world had its own opinions and interpretations. After uncovering the details of the crime and the method of its execution, the North Korean government introduced a series of new security measures to prevent such incidents from recurring. Security measures were intensified at all key sites and protection protocols for important figures in the state were updated. Talking about the girls' lives after the crime remains shrouded in mystery. There are expectations that they disappeared completely with the help of some individuals associated with the crime, making them entirely out of reach of any harm or criminal accountability. There is no doubt the psychological repercussions of such an operation remain difficult and heavy on anyone. Some wonder about the psychological state of the girls, and whether the operation has left a lasting impact on them. It is important to mention that committing a crime does not come without personal cost, and the discussion about the psychological impact remains an important part of understanding this incident. After the assassination, there were significant political and diplomatic consequences. Neighboring countries, as well as major world powers, began to doubt the stability of the regime in North Korea. These suspicions led to a number of conferences and emergency meetings of international organizations to discuss the situation in the region and how to deal with it. International media worked on analyzing every detail of the assassination, publishing detailed reports attempting to uncover the truth behind this significant event. These analyses and articles raised more questions about who the real beneficiary of this operation was and what it could mean for the future of the country. In North Korea, government propaganda tried to control the official narrative of the events. Statements were issued reassuring the people and affirming the stability of the political and security situation in the country. These statements aimed to reduce any kind of panic or doubt among the citizens. From an economic perspective, this assassination had both direct and indirect impacts on the markets and the national economy. Foreign investors became more cautious, and there were declines in the value of some North Korean assets. Domestically, the government began to take new measures to boost the economy and encourage local investment. The North Korean security agencies learned that this incident must not be repeated, and it was agreed to strengthen security measures in all sensitive locations, including airports and important government facilities. Training was intensified, and reliance on technology was increased to ensure such security breaches do not occur again. Despite the apparent success of the president in eliminating his brother's threat, it led to increasing internal and external pressures. The president had to prove his ability to lead the country in this climate full of doubts and tensions. He managed to maintain power, but at what cost? Relations within the ruling family have become more cautious and suspicious than before. It is expected that more measures and internal surveillance will continue to prevent any future threats to power. Personal relationships have become secondary, and defending the throne has become the utmost priority. As for the future of North Korea, it remains filled with challenges and opportunities. While the president seeks to consolidate his power and secure his rule, the situation remains open to all possibilities, whether from within or due to external interventions. The story is not over yet, and its pages are still being written by the hands of history. In conclusion, the story of the North Korean president's assassination of his brother highlights many of the complex and hidden dimensions of international and regional politics. It is a story that underscores the intersection of personal ambition with public policy, and how familial disputes can lead to fundamental changes in the fate of an entire country. Ultimately, this incident remains a painful lesson in how personal emotions intertwine with political ambitions and its impact on the stability of nations.